Hello again, everybody. David Clary, James Branson here on FM 92.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15 as the Wildcats get ready to take on the Mount Juliet Golden Bears. And here come the Wildcats on to Blankenship Field. It is homecoming here at Blankenship, a chilly night. Thanks for tuning us in wherever you might be. The Wildcats trying to knock off the Golden Bears for the second consecutive year. They come in with an outstanding record. They are 6-1 in their Middle Tennessee schedule. The Wildcats come into this game with a record of 4-3. This is another 6A school that the Wildcats are taking on tonight. The Wildcats have won the toss and have deferred to the second half. And here in a moment, Tyler Dunham will be kicking off for Oak Ridge. Quickly, let me run down the starters on offense for the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart, Preston Turner, and Brandon Hayward will start at wide receiver. The slot man tonight will be Cole Adams. The center is Ethan Hewitt. Robert Hill, Nick Dallas, Vinny West, Kaysen Staggs will get the start on the offensive line. The running back for tonight's game, the 6', 195-pound junior, Kendall Jackson. Mitchell Gibbons gets to start at quarterback. He is 5'9", 175 pounds. Getting set to kick off for the Wildcats will be Tyler Dunham. Most of the time, Tyler this season has popped it up. Let's see what he does this time. The Wildcats will be kicking off from left to right. The Golden Bears, as I mentioned, from Middle Tennessee, will be wearing their all-white football pants, white jerseys, gold and black. Their helmets are gold and black. The Wildcats are wearing their Cardinal jerseys with the white pants. About to get underway here from Blankenship Field, the first time in about 5 weeks. And here's the kick. It's a high pop-up kick, fair catch signal for and made. But the other back tries to return it, and that's not allowed. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. One of the backs for the Golden Bears signaled for a fair catch, which was the smart thing to do. But the other back caught it, tried to return it, and that's not allowed. So it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. They'll spot the ball down at the 34-yard line of the Golden Bears. They'll be moving from right to left. As I mentioned, they come into this game with a record of 6-1. The Wildcats 4-3 on the year. Defensively, the Wildcats have at defensive end Trey Rowe and Jackson Adams. Isaiah Boone, J.K. Morgan on the line for the Wildcats. As they come up to the line, first down, 10 yards to go, moving right to left, the ball at the 34-yard line. Quarterback Soule once again. We'll have two receivers to the right. A little screen pass out towards his sideline. It's going to be caught, and they move the ball up the field for a gain of about 5 yards. Continuing on with the starting lineups for the Wildcats at linebacker, the Wildcats have Brian Kelly along with Jacob Bervin and Jaden Elam. The secondary includes Jonathan Stewart at safety. Preston Turner and Matthew Swigert will play the corners, and the other safety is Cole Adams. Second down, we'll call it a long 6 to go for a first down. The ball just shy of the 40-yard line. Quarterback's going to hand it off to the back, and he moves the ball forward for a gain of about a yard, not much more than that. It'll bring up third down, and we'll call it 5 yards to go for the Golden Bears. Last year's ball game was a track meet. Most fans who went to Mount Juliet might remember that. It was an up and down affair as both teams' defenses couldn't stop the other's offense. The Wildcats made some outstanding plays in that ball game, fell behind 14-0 to start the ball game a year ago, and eventually won the game. It'll be third down, 5 yards to go. Let's see if the Wildcats can hold them out on their first possession. From the shotgun, quarterback hands it off. It's a miss handoff. The ball's fumbled on the ground. Mad scramble on the field. Who's got it? I think Cole Adams is going to pick up, and he's going to run with it. Cole Adams down the sideline, 30, 25, 20. Cole Adams, 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Cole Adams scores the first points of the game, picking up a fumble. The ball was just laying on the ground. Cole, who's done it most of his career, Johnny on the spot, picks it up, rumbles down the field, and the Wildcats take a 6-0 lead. So a great start for the Oak Ridge Wildcats against this very, very good Mount Juliet team, and the Wildcats will attempt the extra point. Cole Adams, yet another defensive touchdown. He had a pick six last year against the Golden Bears, and he scores the first points of tonight's ball game here at Blankenship Field. Cam Malcody's going to come into the ball game to attempt the extra point. 6-0 Oak Ridge. The holder is Hayden Tarwater. The long snapper is Kai Hirsch. And once again, it'll be Cam Malcody to attempt the extra point. Ball is down. The kick is on its way. It's up. And a flag goes down on the play. Cole Adams, yet another defensive touchdown for the Wildcats. What a senior campaign he's having, as once again the penalty, I think, is going to be an encroachment call against the Golden Bears, so that'll be half the distance to the goal, so just making it just slightly closer for Cam Malcody to attempt the extra point. We are just underway here at Blankenship Field, and the Wildcats have already put 6 on the board. Wildcats will attempt the extra point once again. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is on its way, it's up, and it's good. 7-0, Oak Ridge on top of the Golden Bears in Mount Juliet. We're going to take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett at the station. We'll be back to Blankenship Field following this 60-second timeout. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. The Wildcats in the lead, 7-0 on the fumble return by Cole Adams. Wildcats getting set to kick off. Dunham once again another high pop-up kick. This time they will return it. Going to move the ball up to the 30-yard line, to the 35-yard line. Before the Wildcats make the stop, it looks like Brian Kelly on the stop for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. So it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. A fumble recovery by the Wildcats returned all the way in for the score, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 7-0. Back on defense will go the Wildcats. Oak Ridge trying to win their 5th ball game of the year and try to beat the Golden Bears for the second time. Wildcats have only played one other time last year. First down, 10 yards to go for the Golden Bears. 2 receivers split to the right. Quarterback's going to roll to his right. Wants to run. Fires a pass deep. Going to be intercepted by Matthew Swigert. The Wildcats have another turnover. Swigert, for his second consecutive week, has a turnover. It's an interception right at the 32-yard line, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over. First down and 10 yards to go. Coach Gaddis said on the pregame show that he felt that the Golden Bears would probably run the ball some more, but that pass very, very poorly thrown, underthrown, and the Wildcat offense is back out on the field once again. Quarterback is Mitchell Gibbons, the Wildcats' first offensive series of the ball game. The Wildcats have Brandon Hayward split to the left side. The Wildcats have Cole Adams and 2 other receivers to the right. Handoff goes Kendall Jackson, looking for some running room, not finding a whole lot. He's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage, and 7-0 our score. 2 turnovers here in the opening moments of this first quarter. 10 minutes to play, and the Wildcats have a 7-0 lead. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge will be in action next week at home against the Powell Panthers. Oak Ridge has on the line tonight Ethan Hewitt is the center, Robert Hill, Nick Dallas, Vinny West, and Kaysen Staggs on the line. Kendall Jackson is the running back. The Wildcats have Hayward split to the left, Jonathan Stewart, along with one other Wildcats, as the handoff goes, going to be a pass, actually the slant to Jonathan Stewart right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain on the play, but it'll be third down facing the Wildcats as we play here at Blankenship Field. A crisp night. Nice crowd on hand here, though, for this ball game. The Wildcats and Golden Bears. 9:19 to play, first quarter. As they work the ball, once again, Taylor comes in motion, screen pass goes to him. He tries to get outside, hits the sideline, and goes out of bounds. He needed about 2 yards for a first. Let's see exactly where they're going to spot the football here. The Wildcats lead it 7-0 on a fumble return of about 50 yards for the score. Here come the Wildcats up to line. Mitchell Gibbons has a slot man to the left. That is Cole Adams. Quick pass is out to Jabryce Taylor, and he is hit and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of about a yard on the play. It'll bring up second down and about 11 yards to go. As we broadcast here at Blankenship Field, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Golden Bears on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, as the Wildcats looking over to the sideline for the play. Brian Wyatt is the offensive coordinator of the Wildcats. As Mitchell brings them up, Cole Adams in a slot, Hayward, Taylor to the right, left side that is. Cole comes in motion in a slot to the right. Jonathan Stewart, Mitchell's going to pass, goes across the way, wide open. That's going to be caught. The 20-yard line, beautiful pass from Mitchell Gibbons to Jonathan Stewart, and then a flag comes in late. It'll be a huge gain all the way down the field. Just a beautifully thrown pass by the senior quarterback, and we'll have to check the call. It's after the play for sure. I don't know if we had some taunting. I don't know if we had a late hit a face mask, we'll wait for the call. It will be a first down for the Wildcats. 7:58 to play here in the first quarter, and the officials having a long conversation. Just a beautifully thrown pass. In a minute, James will be rejoining me here, and he can describe it a little bit better here as we work on our technical issues. You know, we set up probably about 4:30 and up in the booth, but there's so many wires and cords up there. There is a problem, and we apologize for that. 7:58 to play, first quarter, and it'll be for, let's see, the official saying as he comes over to the home side, it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Wildcats. So that's going to, I think it was after the play, so I think the Wildcats will still have the first down, and they are going to penalize them 10 yards on that play. So evidently our receiver had words to say with the defensive back, but I believe for sure it is after the play, but it's still a substantial gain. The Wildcats are on the Golden Bear side of the 50-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 yards to go, officially at the 40. Actually, as I look at it better, it is the 35-yard line. Quarterback is Mitchell Gibbons, 7:49 to play. First quarter, 7-0 our score. Kendall Jackson with the run. Kendall Jackson cuts to the middle part of the field, powers his way back to the 20-yard line. Another fine gain and a 10-bank of Oak Ridge, first down. As the Wildcats continue to move the ball, the Wildcat offensive line doing great work, opening up huge holes for the Golden against the Golden Bear defense. As the Wild first down and 10 yards to go. So an unsportsmanlike conduct call, big play in the ball game, but the Wildcats got it right back with a really good run. First down, 10 yards to go, officially at the Golden Bear 21-yard line, 7:15 to play in the first period. Mitchell Gibbons has time to throw again, floats it end zone, there's the man, the pass is going to be incomplete. I don't think you can throw the ball any better than that pass right there. Right at the pylon intended for Jabrise Taylor, it's incomplete.
Yeah, David, it is a really nice pass there by Mitchell to Jabrise Taylor. Put it basically where his man could get it or nobody. Very similar. Mitchell's having a lot of touch tonight on the ball so far, as he had that nice completion, as you said, to Jonathan Stewart way down the field. And credit Mitchell Gibbons there, too. He stood in the pocket and was able to deliver a nice ball.
Second down, 10 yards to go, 7:07. First quarter action here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats in the lead, 7-0. Kendall Jackson trying to run the ball. He's not finding a whole lot of running room to his right. Comes back to his left, and then is going to be drilled way behind the line of scrimmage. Fumbles the football, and they have a chance for a touchdown. The only one to catch him is the quarterback, Mitchell Gibbons, and he does. And that is a return all the way to the 25-yard line, where it'll be first and 10. So Kendall Jackson fighting for yards, put the ball on the ground. Great return by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, David, you might like to see Kendall take the ball there as he continues to go outside. And really, you know, you're never going to fault him for continuing the effort that he gave there. It was a nice effort. Just got to make sure, number one, we secure the ball. And number two, when you're in that situation, you can't keep retreating. You got probably the best scenario there was maybe go down.
Ball is at the 26-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 yards to go for the Golden Bears. So both teams have had long fumble returns. The Wildcats were driving here, just a kind of a mistake that time by the Oak Ridge back. It is first and 10. We had a nice crowd on in here. It's the first time we've had a home ball game in over a month. Homecoming here, Hall of Fame night. The student section is in pink, and hopefully we'll have a really fine ball game. We had a great one at Mount Juliet a year ago, that's for sure. They split out two receivers to the far left of the quarterback, single man to the right. Haven't been able to even look at my roster here, as the Golden Bears have white jerseys. They have gold and black. First down, 10 yards to go for them at the 26. Hand off to the back, and he's hit in the backfield and dropped to the line of scrimmage and driven back once again.
It's a really good job there by the defensive line, setting the tone there, not letting anything, not taking on blocks, but defeating the blocks, getting in the backfield. And we said Mount Juliet wants to run the football. Well, they really haven't been able to establish the run yet so far.
It'll be a gain of only a yard. Second down, 9 yards to go for the Golden Bears. The ball at the 26-yard line. Quarterback's going to pass across the way. Pass is going to be caught at the 20. Moves the ball down to the 15-yard line, where he is tackled at that point by Oak Ridge. It's right at the sticks where first down. It is indeed a first down for the Golden Bears. 7-0 our score, 6-11 and counting here in the first quarter?
Yeah, just a little bit of a curl route there, or a little bit of a hook route there. Sat right next to the linebacker, is able to get up to the ball and get down to the line of scrimmage for a first down.
Once again, their quarterback's going to hand it off to the back, trying to work the middle and not finding a whole lot of room. That's one good sign. Coach Gaddis was telling me they want to run some more. The Wildcats have done a really good job sacking it up when they've tried to run between the tackles.
Yeah, it's a really nice job there, especially by J.K. Morgan and Isaiah Boone on the inside there. Basically, when those blocks come to them, they're able to get off of them and make a nice play right at the line of scrimmage.
5:28 to play in the first 7-0 Oak Ridge game. Quarterback's going to pass across the way. Pass is deflected and incomplete. And it is going to be pass interference. The flag came in late, and that should be a penalty against Oak Ridge.
Yeah, David, as Jonathan Stewart there was in on the coverage on the little skinny post route, basically right across the middle, and I think he was able to catch up so quick is why he got into the receiver's body and basically was able to tip it up, but unfortunately I think this is going to be first and goal for Mount Juliet.
Ball is, as they mark the penalty yardage off, it's going to go inside the, well, they haven't marched it off yet, but what a strange ball game. We had the first play was a fumble return for a touchdown for Oak Ridge. Then the Wildcats got the ball and started marching down the field. It is pass interference. They put the ball down at the 8. It'll be half the distance to the goal. So it'll be second down, goal to go. Ball is at the 8-yard line. We'll set their players in a... Haven't been able to even really look at that. They hand it off to the back, and he moves the ball for a first down at the 5-yard line, where it'll be now first down, goal to go. 5:11. The good news is, I know this, you don't want to turn the ball over, and they're starting to establish a drive here. The good news is the Wildcats had some success moving the ball when they had the ball.
They were able to get upfield and get large chunks, which is nice to see out of the Wildcats, running and passing. And so being able to do both and not be one-dimensional is very beneficial for the Wildcats.
Officially, the ball is at the 4-yard line, first down and goal to go. It's going to be just across the 5-yard line, 4:45 and counting. First quarter, 7-0 our score. Quarterback comes to the line, and once again, receivers left and right. One comes in motion here to the right. Handoff goes to the back up the middle. He's met by Cole Adams and one other Wildcat right at the 3-yard line. He's able to move forward to the 1. It'll be second down, goal to go at the 1.
Yeah, nice little job there. A little bit of an interesting huddle as Swanner, their quarterback, has their two receivers split out wide. He makes the call. The receivers are already set, and then the line and everybody kind of hurries to the ball to get on it really quick. A very interesting way to huddle and call plays.
Now goal to go. The ball's at the 1-yard line, 4:08 to play. Here in the first quarter, 7-0, but that's about to change unless the Wildcats can stop them right here. The ball is just inside the 1-yard line. They're heading away from Jackson Square. They run to the line of scrimmage quickly. Quarterback is going to be under center. They need a yard. He sneaks the ball forward. He's met at the line. No signal by the officials as they come in to make sure he did not get in. I see no signal. Wildcats thought they had the ball, signaled they had the ball, and now the signal is third down, goal to go.
Yeah, David, just a nice little quarterback sneak there. The defensive line and linebackers, again, setting the tone there, not letting anything happen. As another interesting part of Mount Juliet's offense, the quarterback comes over to the sideline every time to get the play. So we'll have third and goal right here.
3 minutes, 15 seconds to play. First quarter, 7-0. The Oak Ridge fans making a lot of noise. The student section very, very vocal. As here they come to the line. Let's see if he sneaks it again. Right under center he comes. Third down, goal to go. He sneaks the ball forward, and the push, he didn't get it. He has denied the touchdown. It'll be fourth down, goal to go at the 1-yard line.
Really nice job there. It looked like maybe initially they were going to get a couple inches there, but the Wildcat defense, led by those seniors, Jackson Adams and Isaiah Boone. Additionally, I see Jaden Elam in there, Burvin and Kelly, all making nice plays, defensive line and linebackers, and they're going to go for it on fourth and goal at basically the half-yard mark.
2 minutes, 35 seconds to play. He actually might have lost about 4 inches on the previous play. Let's see if they try to go wide this time. Quarterback hasn't been able to get in. Good defensive stand by the Oak Ridge defense to see if they can stop him one final time. Fourth down, goal to go at the 1. Quarterback under center again. He's going to hand it off to his back, and that is a touchdown. I thought he was going to be... They handed it off that time, and that was a good play.
Yeah, it was a really nice play as they just motioned, I believe it was number 17 across the field, which is Jamari Sowell. He just came all the way across the line of scrimmage, and it was a little bit of a handoff exchange there that could have been a fumble, which is, I think, what you saw. And he just kind of tripped into the end zone as the Wildcats lead 7-6 right now.
And they'll go for the extra point, 2 minutes, 10 seconds to play here. And they'll hold her. It will be number 4. The snap is good. The kick is down. The kick looks good, and it is up, and it is good. So a turnover causes a tie ball game. 7-7 the score. Nice drive by the Golden Bears of 26 yards. We'll be back to Blankenship Field with the Golden Bear kickoff in 60 seconds. The Golden Bears to kick off once again. 7-7 our score. Bears turn the turnover into points. Here's the kick returned by Taylor at the 10, the 15, to the 20, to the 25. He cuts to the outside. He's free. He's at the 40 and moves the ball to the 45-yard line. Very similar to the Carnes game a couple of weeks ago when Jabryce returned 2 kickoffs for big numbers, and that's a really, really fine return.
Yeah, David, and I think one of the things that helps Jabryce is he seems to find a little bit of a niche here on special teams for the Wildcats is he just kind of delays, waits for the hole to open up, and once he sees the hole, he is through there trying to get to the sideline and upfield as quick as he can.
Mitchell Gibbons is the senior quarterback. He's got some numbers he's trying to get tonight. Mitchell, first down 10, and flags go down, and indeed is going to be encroachment against the Mount Juliet Golden Bears. 7-7 our score. Ball game, James Branson, was about as fun to watch as any game we've seen in a while.
Toward the beginning, it was not very fun. I think Mount Juliet got up quick, 14-0. But what made it fun was how Oak Ridge responded and kept fighting throughout the rest of the game.
Ended up winning the ball game with high numbers, 41-34, I believe the final score was. First down, 5 yards to go. Kendall Jackson cuts to the Oak Ridge sideline, tripped up at the 46-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage, where it'll be now for the Wildcats, actually a loss of a yard. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go. 1:46 to play in the first quarter. 7-7 is our score here from Blankenship Field.
Yeah, a little bit of a outside handoff there as Kendall just took the handoff and tried to get outside as quickly as he could. Not able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Credit Mount Juliet there. I believe that their outside linebackers came up and filled that and played contain really well in that play.
The ball is at the Oak Ridge 46-yard line, moving towards Jackson Square. And once again, we have another encroachment. I didn't see if anybody moved. Let's see, the official comes in to say what? It is going to be dead ball foul, encroachment again against the Golden Bears. So
yeah, that's the third encroachment penalty on them. They actually had one on the extra point after Oak Ridge scored that initial fumble recovery. So clearly somebody is over the center, over the ball before it's snapped, or maybe it's a cornerback. I don't know. It's a very interesting situation that Mount Juliet's going to have to figure out here.
So 1:05 to play. The ball is at the 49-yard line. Wildcats, second down and a yard to go. 7-7 our score. Under a minute to play in the first period. Wildcats, handoff. Kendall Jackson moves the ball for a 10-back of Oak Ridge first down, still battling for yardage, down to around the 46-yard line, maybe even beyond that.
Yeah, it's a really nice run there by Kendall as he corrected his mistake from the previous play when the hole went right through the hole. And one of the things that Kendall does really well, one of the moves that he does is he likes to spin off of tackles. And he spun off the tackle there and was able to get up a couple extra yards and get into Wildcat territory.
Looks like he's not going to the hole, though, there. He's trying to bounce it all outside each time and missing the hole.
Yeah, it seems that way, and you just like to see him stick his foot in the ground and hit the right hole and try not to bounce it. If you're going to bounce it after you get to the second level, the linebacker level.
Ball is at the 43-yard line officially. First down, 10 yards to go, Oak Ridge. 15 seconds to play. Mitchell's going to pass it complete to Hayward, then he drops it. Now, let's see if they say it's just an incomplete pass. 10.9 seconds to play. It's cool tonight. It's not incredibly cold, but that's a couple times, actually 3 times we've seen the ball put down. This is obviously the coldest night for both teams, but that time Brandon had it, it appeared, and then he took a step, and obviously he didn't have it. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think Brandon kind of looked upfield before he really secured it as a catch, and since it was toward the line of scrimmage, or in front of the line of scrimmage, it wasn't a fumble. It wasn't a lateral there.
10 seconds to play first quarter. Second down, 10 yards to go at the Mount Juliet 43-yard line. The Wildcats have a slot man once again. And once again, it's going to be a pass in the end zone. That is a touchdown! Jonathan Stewart. So once again, a beautifully thrown pass by Mitchell Gibbons, and the Wildcats are on the board with 4.2 seconds to play. A beautifully thrown 43-yard touchdown pass. Jonathan Stewart, who had a big game against Mount Juliet a year ago, scores, and the Wildcats are back on top.
Really nice job there play calling wise, as I bid on the fake. I thought Kendall had the ball, but it was a little play action which held those safeties and linebackers, allowed Jonathan to finish his post route and run basically untouched in the end zone, very reminiscent of last year's game.
Cam Malcody to attempt the extra point. High snap, ball is down, the kick by Cam is up, and it is good. Oak Ridge on top of Mount Juliet, 14-7. We'll be back to Blankenship Field in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Tyler Dunham's kick. No fair catch this time. There's a flag on the play, but one thing I can say is Mount Juliet is doing a much better job with the kickoffs than the other teams we've played in the last several weeks.
Yeah, clearly it's pretty easy, David. If you're not going to return it, you're going to get the ball at about the 30, 35-yard line. Just call a fair catch, and you're already in a good position to start your offensive drive. If you're going to return it, make sure that you have guys to block for that return.
As the Golden Bears have it, first down, 10 yards to go at the 24-yard line. Quarterback's going to throw it. Pass is going to be caught. Wildcats will drop him right around the 30-yard line. The stop is made out there by Jonathan Stewart. You know, with the injuries that the Wildcats have had, James, Jonathan Stewart has to play a lot of football.
He does have to play a lot of football, and I think I also see maybe Jabryce Taylor out there, I think at one point, or whoever. But we got a lot of guys playing both ways, and at this point you just got to get your best 11 on the field.
Second down, 3 yards to go for the Golden Bears. Gain of 7. Handoff to the back. Boom! He's blasted. Jackson Adams popped him at the 30-yard line. What a big stick right there. He got some little help from his teammates, but the initial lick was by Jackson.
Yeah, what's so impressive about that play on Jackson? Jackson plays defensive end. He literally crashed right down the line of scrimmage and hit the running back at the line of scrimmage. That was an amazing play by Jackson.
Lost a yard on the play. Third down, 4 yards to go. Ball is at the 30-yard line. He's won a pass once again. It's a high pass. It's incomplete. It'll be fourth down facing the Golden Bears. Pass was intended out there to number 17 as I look for my roster. That is Sowell. And it'll be fourth down, and the Golden Bears will be forced to punt. Looking at this particular team, it was funny what Coach Gaddis told me. He said when they signed up, and we'll talk about that. Remind me of it, or I'll forget. You know, as we have punt formation here, fourth down and 3. Wildcats have Preston Turner back. It's a low line drive kick. Wildcats, Matthew Swigert needs to get away from it. It's going to take a good Golden Bear roll all the way to the 29-yard line. Coach Gaddis was telling me that when they set up the ball game, obviously neither one of the teams could find a game. You don't really want to play so far away from home, honestly, to be honest with you. But, two good programs, two good teams. He said that we'll be very good last year, but not very good this year, not because of graduation, because they opened up a brand new school, and those kids were going to be forced to go to the other school, but they got a reprieve and a 1-year waiver so they could stay here. So Mount Juliet, that's why they're 6-1.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and it's a great team in 6A. And I think it's honestly pretty cool that we traveled out there to see them. I love going to different places and seeing different stadiums.
Absolutely. I mean, I love going to – we'd never been there before. Yeah, it's a great facilities. Oak Ridge back on offense, 10:35 to play here in the first half. The Wildcats up 14-7, trying to win their 5th ball game. Mitchell has all day again, but now he's going to have to run for his life. Looks to throw it and throws it out of bounds. And that time, Mitchell could have thrown it. He had Jonathan deep down here, but he didn't really have good footing. He had a lot of pressure. Cole Adams, I guess, was the closest receiver, but I think Mitchell just threw it away.
Threw it away, and Cole was in the area, and that's the key in high school level football is if you're going to roll out of the pocket and throw the ball out of bounds to ground it, basically, it has to be near an eligible receiver. Not the case necessarily as much in NFL.
Ball's at the 29-yard line. Second down, 10 yards to go. 10:26 to play. We're in the first half here at Blankenship Field. Homecoming, Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame. We'll have Mark Hayes statistics. I haven't even gotten our camera guys in. We have a ton of them tonight. I brought the whole crew, and some of them stayed at home. I haven't even met some of these guys. Second down, 10 yards to go. Mitchell's going to hand it off to, no, he's going to throw it across the way. Wide open again. First and 10 Wildcats as the Wildcats, Brandon Hayward catches it at midfield. That slant, James Branson, why don't you run that slant at Robertsville Middle School?
It's a great play, and what really sucked up the defense again, I think the Oak Ridge offense, what they do a lot is they run the football, and what Mount Juliet is biting on is that play action. We're faking it to Kendall. We're just pulling it out, and easy completions to Brandon, easy completions to Jonathan Stewart.
The good thing is the Oak Ridge line is being outstanding, really giving him all the time in the world. First and 10, the ball right at the 50-yard line, 14-7, Oak Ridge in the lead. Mitchell Gibbons, the senior quarterback, looks over to Coach Wyatt for the play. Looks a little unsure of it as he continues to look that way. Play clock is down to 6 as Mitchell has the low snap, has to fall on it back at the 45-yard line. That is a loss of 5. I think honestly just the delay there caused Mitchell some discomfort mentally, and really I don't think he was focused when the snap came back to him.
Right there, David, as he saw the play clock going down, trying to change the play, get the play in. I think one interesting thing maybe to keep an eye on in the future is if we force Mount Juliet to punt again, which we hope we do, they took a long time to get that punt off, so I wouldn't be surprised if Oak Ridge tried to block one tonight.
Second down, it's a loss of 5. Second down, 15 at the Oak Ridge 45-yard line. The Wildcats moving away from Jackson Square. The facility here at Blankenship Field. 8:58 and counting. First half, 14-7. Kendall Jackson. No, it's going to be another pass. It's another completion. It's going to be a gain of 5 to Brandon Hayward right at the 45-yard line. Took a pretty nasty hit right there. He's okay, though. He's tough. Freshman. It'll be third down, and we'll call it 5 yards to go.
It is a nice little completion there, and again, Mount Juliet continues to attack that run so hard, and Oak Ridge is basically just playing into that. Like if you're gonna bite on the run, that's totally fine. We're just gonna pull it and throw out for easy completions like to Brandon and Jonathan.
Wildcats have been able to move the ball with ease here. Let's see if they can run the ball a little bit better. Mitchell, third down, 5 yards to go from the Mount Juliet 45. He's gonna throw all day again. Might run it, and he's going to. No, he's going to fire a pass. He should have run it. It was intended for Jonathan. Probably should have tucked it and ran for the first down.
Yeah, David, and I think one of the things that it was a little delayed for Mitchell there is as he was rolling out, he continually kept his eyes downfield, which he does a really good job of, but he almost delayed a little too long and not running up toward the line of scrimmage as much.
Let's see if they try to fake this one here. And Jacob Bervin in punt formation here. Now, Juliet's a well-coached team. I'm sure they've seen it on tape here, so they'll be very careful. Line up off sides as they've been doing all night. Wildcats in punt formation, and it is going to be it. And guess what? He's got a 10 back of Oak Ridge first down. Moves the ball to the 30-yard line. First and 10 Oak Ridge. I guess Mount Juliet had not seen that on tape.
No, I think what was very interesting, David, is I said, this may not be a very good scenario to punt it because they basically were playing man on everybody. What they didn't really account for, though, was Preston. Preston is a lefty. He kicks it left, and usually you don't see left-footed punters. And Preston does a little bit of a rugby-style kick, so he runs up to the line of scrimmage. And he just delayed, and there was nobody coming toward him. So he's like, heck, I can go up here and get 10 yards and get a first down.
It is first and 10 for the Wildcats here as the ball is at the 30-yard line. 7:58 to play. We're in the first half. 14-7 is the score. Wildcats first and 10. Moving away from Jackson Square as the handoff goes to Kendall, and he is hit in the backfield again. He's going to lose big yardage.
Yeah, David, I think one of the things that Oak Ridge needs to continue to do would be to continue to do the play action, okay? That is basically taking the linebackers and the linemen and frees up Kendall to block and frees up our receivers. So maybe we can come back to that run, but until they start earning the pass, I would just say let's air it out.
7:34 to play and counting. It's a loss of 5. Second down, 15 yards to go. Ball is now at the 34-yard line. Mitchell Gibbons, quarterback for the Wildcats. He's a senior. Drops back to pass. Floats the pass. Complete. Once again, 30. That's the Wildcats. Brandon Hayward moving the ball back to the 30 or 25-yard line. It'll be third down, and it looks like about a little bit longer than I thought. Third down in about 7. 7 minutes to play in a fast-moving first half here at Blankenship Field on a chilly night. Homecoming 2020.
Yeah, David, is a nice little play there by Brandon. Is a little bit of a different screen pass there, as Brandon basically just ran that similar screenplay, but what the Wildcats did is they had Nick Dallas out on the edge blocking from his tackle position.
Third down, 7 yards to go. Wildcats have Jonathan Stewart as the wide receiver to the right of the quarterback. Wildcats in a slot with Jabrise Taylor at receiver. Jonathan, or one other receiver far to the left. Mitchell's going to pass all day. End zone, there's a man, incomplete. There was holding right at the 10-yard line. Very, very poor officiating right there. It was an obvious hold.
It was an obvious hold, as it was more of it. The corner ran into Brandon, and when he ran into Brandon, that slowed Brandon down. Had he not ran into Brandon, Brandon would have caught the ball and literally walked into the end zone. It's a bad missed call there by the refs.
So now it's 4th down, 7 yards to go. The Wildcats are keeping the offense on the field. The ball's at the 6-yard line of the Golden Bears. Oak Ridge on top, 14-7. 6 minutes, 26 seconds to play. Second quarter action here at Blankenship Field. Mitchell Gibbons, receivers left and right, facing a blitz. All day again. Across the way, Jonathan Stewart makes a great sliding catch for a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Nice catch by Jonathan, and Jonathan's had a really, really fine senior year. He makes the catch all the way at the 14-yard line.
Really nice job there by Jonathan, is just finding a hole, and of Mitchell kind of putting it in a very hard-to-place spot, and threw a little bit behind Jonathan, and Jonathan was able to reel it in and make a nice play and get the first down there for the Wildcats and set them up inside the 20-yard line.
That's down conversions the Wildcats have had on this drive, leading 14-7. 5 minutes, 54 seconds to play here in this first half at Blankenship Field. From the Mount Juliet 14-yard line, Mitchell once again. Cole Adams comes in motion. He's a slot on the left side. Handoff goes to Kendall right up the middle. Good hole. Across the 10 down to around the 8-yard line. Really nice run. One of the nicest runs. Just didn't try to cut. Just hit that hole right up the middle and gained on the play about 6 yards.
Yeah, it was a really nice job there. And again, the line's doing a great job tonight. So Kendall hitting that hole and getting up what he can. It puts your offense in a good scenario when you're at 2nd and 4. You don't want to be in 2nd 11 or 2nd 12 or anything like that. Maybe not even 2nd 8. You want to be closer to that 2nd and 4 to get a first down.
5:12 in the first half. Wildcats to the line. The ball is, as I mentioned, the 7-yard line. It's closer to the 8, actually. 2 receivers to the left of the quarterback. Kendall's in the backfield. Mitchell to pass again. Across the way. Pass is going to be incomplete. Intended for Hayward. Incomplete pass. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. 4:57 to play. Seems like Oak Ridge has had the ball the entire ball game.
Yeah, it seems like they have. They've been able to get turnovers and push the ball and move the ball really effectively downfield. Like, I don't believe Mount Juliet, other than the few run plays, have really stopped the Wildcats tonight.
They have not. The fumble was the one thing that really set up their only score. Wildcats, 3rd down, 4 yards to go. The ball is at the 8-yard line of Mount Juliet. Jonathan Stewart split to the far right. The Wildcats have Hayward and Taylor to the left. Cole's the slot to the left side. Kendall Jackson, the running back. Kendall gets the handoff, and Kendall is hit and dropped for loss. Still drives the pile forward, and actually that second effort got him close to the 5-yard line. Has to get to the 4. The Wildcats have converted 2 4th down plays on this drive. It is 4th down and 2 right now, and it is. The kick team is going to come into the ball game, led by Oak Ridge's Cam Malcody. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to play. 4th down, 2 yards to go. Wildcats struggling a little bit with their run game. Give a lot of credit to the Golden Bears. The holder for the Wildcats is Hayden Tarwater. Kai Hirsch is the long snapper. The Wildcats up 14-7, trying to add 3 to it. 4th down, 2. And here's the hold. The kick is on its way by Cam. It's up, and it is no good. It was off to the right side, so the Golden Bears hold. So right now, the Wildcat lead is only 7. So Coach Gaddis went for it on 1 4th down, but I think he thought 2 was just a little bit too much.
Yeah, David, a little bit further out there. Obviously, you can't get Preston or Jacob Bourbon out there because it's not a punting really scenario. It would be a little bit interesting there to see Rodriguez, blanking on the name, Efren, thank you. Efren, it would have been interesting to see if Efren would have come out in that scenario and how he would have done, because he's got a really good leg. We saw that in the previous 2 games. Missed one just barely, but his first ever attempt, he made a really nice, I think it was 35-yard field goal.
At Clinton, it'll be 1st and 10 for Mount Juliet. The ball is at the 20-yard line, moving towards Jackson Square here. Once again, quarterback's going to fire across the way. Pass is incomplete. Preston Turner bumped him from the backside. This side judge over here has called 2 now, while the other guy on the opposite side did not. There was a little bit of a bump, but I agree with you. It was not pass interference.
No, then honestly, Preston, all he did was barely hit him in the hip as the ball was arriving or as the ball would have been getting there. And the other thing that makes that not pass interference, that was not catchable. That was not a catchable ball for the receiver. It's not like Preston knocked him off the route that he wasn't able to catch it. There was no real reason there for that flag.
This game is totally different from the one last year where it was just nobody punted. I mean, it was just touchdown after touchdown.
Yeah, and it was up and down the field. It was almost a track meet, not really even a football game. I think at one point in the broadcast last year we said, welcome to Mount Juliet for the track meet.
Official steps in, the referee does, to make sure that the ball was positioned. And now they're going to say unsportsmanlike conduct against Oak Ridge. So that's the second one that has been called against Oak Ridge. The other one hurt them on a scoring drive. And they're going to move the ball to the 50-yard line. There must be some talking going on down there.
Yeah, there's not much pushing or shoving, so the players must be saying something in and around or near a ref that is getting these flags.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball right at midfield now, 14-7. So this drive started at the 20-yard line. And the Wildcats have been penalized a couple times here. Let's see what the Oak Ridge defense can do. It's been, really all Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge, to me, has controlled the first half, but it's still only 14-7. Penalties and a fumble have hurt the Wildcats. 1st and 10, Mount Juliet, the ball at the 50-yard line. Wearing their all-white jerseys, gold and black, low snap. Quarterback hands it to the back, and he is going to be hit by Elam. Bounces off him and moves the ball for a gain of about 2 before he's finished off by Jacob Bervin and one other Wildcat. Might have been Kelly, might have been Cole Adams. 3:45 to play, first half, gain of only 2. Second down and 8 yards to go.
Really nice play there by Jaden Elam as he just basically comes from his outside linebacker position, follows the motion, and runs right into the running back.
3.5 minutes to play. Second down, we'll call it a long 8 to go for a first. 14-7, Oak Ridge in the lead as we play here at Blankenship Field. Once again, they have one lone running back, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Quarterback's going to hand it to the back. He fumbles it. The ball's loose on the ground at the 50. Oak Ridge is signaling they have recovered that fumble, and Oak Ridge has indeed recovered the fumble. Coming up with the ball, Brian Kelly.
It's a really nice job there by Brian Kelly, basically like we talked about, being Johnny on the spot. Again, as it was just a miss handoff, as the running back was trying to go forward, the quarterback just wasn't able to put it right in his stomach, and the handoff basically fell right on the ground, and Brian Kelly being right there. What's nice to see about that Brian Kelly was so fast to it, not that he's not fast, but he is attacking the play because the Wildcats are reading runs so fast.
First down, 10 yards to go, 3 minutes, 13 seconds to play here in this first half, 14-7. The Wildcats once again with another turnover, takeaway from the Golden Bears. That's number 3. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball right at the 50-yard line. Mitchell Gibbons, the quarterback, hands it to Kendall. He's got a big hole this time. Kendall at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15-yard line, 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, Kendall Jackson. 3:03 to play. Kendall Jackson takes it 50 yards.
Yeah, David, is a really nice job there by Kendall. It's just he's able to use his speed and really kind of squeeze right in between 2 blocks, between his guard and his tackle. Did a nice job for him, hit the sideline, and nobody was going to catch Kendall on that one as he raced into the end zone and put Oak Ridge up 20-7.
So the Wildcats take advantage of the turnover, lead it now 20-7, as James Branson said. 3:03 to play. Malcody to kick again. The extra point is up, and it is no good. Once again off to the right side. So the Wildcats struggling a little bit with their special, but they lead it 20-7. We'll be back with a Wildcat kickoff in 60 seconds. Back here's the pop-up kick. It's going to be returnable down the sideline. That's going to be a long return. It might even be a touchdown. Wildcats don't pick him up, and he's going to take it all the way in, about 65 yards for a touchdown. He didn't have much room. Sowell returned it. Nobody was on the Mount Juliet sideline, and he just sprinted up the sideline, and it's 20-13.
David, it was a quick answer there by Sal as he used his speed, and he's pretty impressive when he gets out in the open field because he was able to race right by a lot of our defenders there on the special teams. As a quick answer by Mount Juliet, so maybe we did have another track meet this year.
65 yards on the return. They'll attempt the extra point. The Wildcats laid a man onto the field, and Wildcats missing an extra point. That's not good. Here's the kick, and it's up and good. But before that, flag on the play. Official's going to come over to say what? They're going to say a penalty. They're pointing towards Oak Ridge. It is a dead ball against the Wildcats. Can't miss extra points. I know that really irritates Coach Gaddis, and they can close the gap even further here. The Wildcats have missed a field goal attempt here, and it's 20-13, 2:52 to play in a game that really has been totally controlled by Oak Ridge, James. But, you know, if you look at the score, you wouldn't think that. 20-13 our score. Here's the kick. It's up. He barely hits it, but it is good. 2:52 to play first half, and we do have that track meet. 20-14 is our score. We'll take a break. We'll send it back for another kickoff. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Blankenship Field. The kickoff goes sailing into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. 2:52 to play. And I'm going to say this again. The Wildcats, in my opinion, have totally controlled this ball game. But it's a 6-point game at 20-14. That kickoff return, the coverage, there was no room really for him, honestly. He just hit that sideline and was gone, and nobody realized he had the ball. They're so used to not anybody having returns on them.
Yeah, and I think maybe that was a little bit of the issue. And as well, we mentioned the fumble where Mount Juliet returned it inside the 25-yard line. So those two situations haven't ended up well, as you said, but the Wildcats have been able to control the ball.
20-14 Oak Ridge, 2:52 to play. Second quarter, Wildcats Mitchell Gibbons at quarterback. Can hand it off to Kendall Jackson. Moving the ball forward for not much at all. In fact, he might have lost a yard on the play. You could hear the popping of the pads from all the way up here as he hit the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down 10.
Yeah, as it's basically a straight handoff to Kendall every time. The Wildcats may motion Darren Osborne across the line of scrimmage to pick up a block here or there. It'd be interesting to see if they try to hand off or fake a handoff to somebody else and then give it to Kendall.
I think they're going to go with a slant. I know they don't want to turn the ball over right here before the half here. 2:15 to play in the first half. 20-14, the Wildcats in the lead. Oak Ridge will get the ball first in the second half. They won the toss and deferred. 2:07 and counting. Play clock down to 4. Mitchell Gibbons is going to hand it off to Kendall. Kendall around the right side, not much there. If I were Mount Juliet, I'd call a timeout. About 3 weeks ago on the TV show, Preston Turner asked you why you wore flip-flops, and James is wearing flip-flops tonight. We'll get that answer when we get a chance. Mount Juliet crowd and team making a lot of noise here. It's third down and 8, 1:55 to play. It's a really big play in the ballgame, I think. The Wildcats really need to convert to not give the ball back to the Golden Bears here. Mitchell Gibbons, third down, 8 yards to go, 1:55 to play. 20-14 is our score. Once again, quarterback is going to move the ball up the field, and that flag goes down. It is declined, so obviously it was against the Wildcats, so the Wildcats will be forced to punt. A little conservative on that drive with a little over 2 minutes to go, and another timeout is asked for. Let's take it really quick. We'll be back to Blankenship Field in 30 seconds. And, of course, Brian Bennett and Mike Sheehan involved with our broadcast here. 20-14 is our score, 1:47 to play, so the Wildcats took less than, I think it was a 3:33 to go, I believe. So really just a little over a minute, I believe. And now they're going to have it fourth down and 6 yards to go. The timeout, incidentally, was called by the Golden Bears. They have one left. The Wildcats have, according to the scoreboard, all three. I thought Oak Ridge called a timeout earlier. Punt formation again for the Wildcats. Jacob Bervin, Preston Turner. I'd be very surprised right now if they fake this one. It's fourth down, 6 yards to go. Got to get a good snap off here. 1:47 to play. Fourth down, 6. Waiting for the snap. Snap is good. And the Wildcats will punt it. It's in the middle of the field. It's going to take a bounce right around the 44-yard line, rolled to the 40, and that is where Mount Juliet, and they are fired up. Look at the Mount Juliet Golden Bears. They are fired up on their sideline.
Yeah, David, as they are thinking that they can be able to move the football here. If you're Oak Ridge, and we've seen 2 basically unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, you have to play disciplined football here. You want them to play discipline. Don't give them anything because you've caused 3 turnovers. We know we can stop them. You got to play discipline, though.
See what they can do here. Yeah, you don't want any more unsportsmanlike conduct calls. That helped them the last time. Wildcats watching them getting ready to pass. Quarterback's running, and he is going to be dropped. I believe that was Isaiah Boone, who dropped him, but he had some good yardage. When he first took off running, I didn't see anybody, didn't see any of the linebackers, but Boone was able to snag him for a gain of only 5. Up to the line they'll come, 17 to play in the first half. So quickly to the line, second down, 5 yards to go. 2 receivers to the right, they're going to pass this time. Here's pressure, quarterback's running again, cutting to the outside, boom! Stop is made by Bourbon, short of a first down. Big hit was made out here. It'll be third down facing the Golden Bears, 57 seconds and counting. It's going to be third down and a yard to go. Moving very fast. They've got to do something about the quarterback. That's twice now he's been able to get free. Third down and a yard to go, 45 seconds and counting. Once again, the quarterback from the shotgun. This time he's going to hand it to the back, and he's going to move the ball forward.
Yeah, David, as just the Bears trying to go very quick here on offense as we set the change for first down, 30 seconds left in the half.
The clock is moving. They didn't really stop it at all. Quarterback back to pass all day. Now running. Now he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to be sacked at the 40-yard line. The Wildcats, Jackson Adams back there for the Wildcats, and Oak Ridge had Kai Hirsch, and they'll call their final timeout with 15.4 seconds. He was doing better when he was running it because that time he looked, there was nobody open. The good coverage by the Oak Ridge secondary, and now it's going to take basically, there's 15 seconds. It's now second down and 17 yards.
Yeah, David, I think one of the reasons that their quarterback, Swanner, was able to move the ball so much there using his legs was because the Wildcats were playing coverage. They weren't going to get beat deep. They were protecting the sideline. Obviously, if a ball was thrown outside, and they didn't want to get beat deep. So it let everything underneath open up for Swarner. He was able to get up to a first down and pretty close, and they ended up getting it. But the Wildcat defensive line did a great job on that last play. The
Golden Bears, once again, I guess they're not accurately using the timeouts because it says there's still 1 timeout remaining for them, 3 for us. It'll be second down, 17 yards to go. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left for the Golden Bears. 15 seconds in the first half. Quarterback's going to run it, and this time he has no place to go except to the ground. The Wildcats dropping there with Jaden Elam, and that'll be the final play of the first half. So the Wildcats head to the dressing room, and I'll say it again, the Wildcats, I thought, really controlled. They really controlled the first half, but it's just a 6-point game. And here it is. He hits it well, and it's going to be fielded in the end zone. That'll be a touchback. First down and 10 yards to go. The Wildcats of Oak Ridge and the Golden Bears. It is 20-14. The Wildcat offense will come onto the field. Mitchell from the shotgun slides somebody over to his right. That's Kendall Jackson. In the slot as well, the Wildcats have Cole Adams. High snap, handoff goes. Once again, the Wildcats trying the middle there, and not a whole lot of room there. In fact, Kendall Jackson, I don't think gets anything but no gain officially on the play. 11:30 to play. The Wildcats move the ball so crisply with the pass. I know Coach Gaddis wants to establish the run game. Wildcats, once again, second down, 10 yards to go. Gibbons at quarterback. It's going to pass across the way. Pass is caught, but immediately hit 25-yard line. It'll be third down and 5 yards to go. The Wildcats, Brandon Hayward on the reception. Third down, 5. Big hit on the freshman receiver.
Yeah, as Brandon Hayward was able to catch that pass and kind of shake off the initial tackle, but couldn't really break free and was able to get another yard or so as it sets up 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats.
Third down, 4 yards to go. Mitchell's going to throw it, go down the way deep. Pass is caught. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's tackled at that point. Brandon Hayward on the reception. It'll be 1st and 10. Wildcats, just another beautifully thrown pass by Mitchell Gibbons, and a great route, tight coverage by Mount Juliet. And I'm not even sure how Mitchell was able to get the ball in there, but a great play. Flags are down, obviously, on the play. Wildcats will have it 1st and 10, I believe, at the 40 of Mount Juliet. Receivers left and right. Jonathan Stewart far to the right near the Mount Juliet sideline as they go away from Jackson Square. Kendall gets the handoff, moves the ball. Great hole. He's going to take it into the score. It's a touchdown for the Wildcats. That time he just accelerated right up the left side of the Oak Ridge line, and the Wildcats have 6 on the board.
It was a really nice job there by Kendall, and what backed up the linebackers and the defensive backs, honestly, they were started out in press coverage. They backed them up, and Kendall was able to get through the line so quick that he was almost untouched when he got to the linebackers, and nobody even touched him after that. So it's a nice job there by setting up the run with the passes over the middle on those long plays.
And the Wildcats will go for the extra point, and the Wildcats will have a new kicker, and that'll be Efred Rodriguez to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is up, and it is good. The Wildcats lead the Golden Bears of Mount Juliet 27-14. 9:37 to play third quarter, and we'll be back to Blankenship Field in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to Blankenship Field. The Wildcats elect this time to kick it off deep. 1st and 10 for the Mount Juliet Golden Bears.
Yeah, David, as I believe Baggett there was back deep and really was just kind of watching the ball bounce and never picked it up. And I think one of the upbacks or one of the wingbacks came up from that position and was like, well, if he's not going to take it, I'm going to take it. And Nate was able to get up to about the 15-yard line.
27-14 is the score. 9.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Ball is resting at the 15-yard line. Golden Bears, when they're all white jerseys with gold and black, white football pants. The Wildcats in their Cardinal jerseys and their white pants. Hand off to the running back, and he is going to be tripped up, but was able to get outside and still on his way, and is finally knocked down by Cole Adams, but not before he gets up to the 40-yard line. He ran into several Oak Ridge Wildcats who tried to arm tackle him, and you just can't get that guy down. He's not a big guy. They don't list his size on our roster here, but he just was kind of squirming and moving, and he got all the way up to the 40-yard line. Really, really fine run. Not good tackling by Oak Ridge.
As, David, you said he was just able to spin out the tackles, and he's actually pretty quick and elusive. So the Wildcats and the defense really needs to try to bottle that up as much as possible, which they did as good a job as you could in the first half.
27-14, Oak Ridge in the lead. 8:55 to play third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Golden Bears at the Mount Juliet 40. Quarterback to pass. Pressured, goes across the way. Pass is almost intercepted. It is! Preston Turner at the 40 to the 50. Preston Turner, what a beautifully catch. He's going to take it down the sideline with blockers in front. He's going to be tackled right at the 5-yard line. What an outstanding one-handed grab. I didn't think there was any way in the world Preston could pick that off, but he did. He almost took it all the way in for a score.
You know, just being, again, Johnny on the spot, another turnover for the Wildcats here as Preston just comes from his corner spot, was able to make a nice pick there, and Preston, with all his speed that he has, is able to sprint basically right down the sideline untouched until about the 5-yard line. As Wildcat defense, that is their 4th turnover tonight, 2 fumbles and 2 picks. Nice job here by Coach Miner and his defense.
There was a flag on the play, and it's going to be against the Wildcats. It's going to be after the interception. It's just going to back them up, and that hurt them earlier. The Wildcats had a big, long pass play, had an unsportsmanlike conduct call. It is a holding call, I guess, on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge, the ball at the Mount Juliet 35. What a beautiful play by Preston Turner. One of the most acrobatic interceptions I can ever remember seeing here.
Yeah, it's a really nice play there by Preston Turner, and I guess I'll answer his question now. The reason I spend so much time in flip-flops, Preston, if you're listening, is because I lived in Florida for about 6 months, so every day after school when I was a kid, that's all I did is put on flip-flops, go to the beach every day after school.
First down, 10 yards to go. 2 receivers to the right. The Wildcats trying to get points here. Ball's at the Mount Juliet 35. Handoff Kendall Jackson. Oh, boy. Kendall's still moving forward, breaks some tackles, moves the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line. I thought initially Kendall Jackson was hit at the line and was going to get no gain. He gained 15. as he kept those big, strong legs of his driving, and that is a 10 back of Oak Ridge first down. What a run.
Yeah, what a run, and he actually ran over the safety. He was dragging linebackers with him and ran over the safety who didn't come in and wrap up, and you got to wrap up on Kendall.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 11-yard line. Mitchell's going to pass to Taylor. Jabryce is going to get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Why don't we set the line here once again for the Wildcats? Oak Ridge is really given, and I've talked about this all in the first half. Those big guys up front, Ethan Hewitt, the center, Robert Hill, Nick Dallas, Vinny West, Kason Staggs, have given the Wildcats back a lot of time to throw. Mitchell has not been under any kind of duress at all night when he's wanted to pass. And occasionally they've blocked some big holes for Kendall to run through.
Yeah, and Kendall's close to, if not over 100 yards after these runs that he's come out with in the second half here.
Second down, 10 yards to go from the Mount Juliet 11. Osborne in motion in a slot to the left. He's going to throw it. Mitchell is across the way. Pass is going to be incomplete. Intended for Jabryce Taylor right at the 5-yard line. It'll be third down and 10 yards to go. 7:19 to play third quarter and a chilly night here at Blankenship Field.
Yeah, David, a chilly night, and the Wildcats really have come out here wanting to run the ball here in the second half, establishing the run. You kind of wonder what Coach Gaddis said to his offensive line, or maybe even just the offense in general. Not really able to run the ball except for one play, but on the second half here, they've come out ready to go, and I think Kendall's probably close to, again, I think about 60 yards here in the second half.
27-14 the score, 7:19 to play here in this one. The first half, the Wildcats. Once again, third down, 10 yards to go at the 11. Handoff goes, Kendall, and that's going to be a loss of about 3. That time, not a whole lot going. They've missed a field goal already. Let's see if they try another one. Oak Ridge leads at 27-14, 7:08 to play. So they got to the 11-yard line and couldn't get anything going. And the Wildcats are not going to send the kick team in, it would appear. Play clock is clicking down, 26 seconds. Coach Wyatt, Coach Gaddis, they're deciding what they want to do here. I don't see a kicker moving in. Taking a lot of time here, down to 15 seconds to play. Now they'll line up. Fourth down, 12 yards to go. Wildcats, Ethan Hewitt, the center. He'll snap it back to the senior quarterback, down to 6 seconds on the play clock. Kendall, the lone running back. Receivers, of course, left and right. Mitchell will pass. Jonathan Stewart at the end zone. Oh, he can't quite get it. Good coverage out there by number 30, and they'll take over on downs.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was a smart play there by Mitchell. Again, Mitchell puts the ball really in good positions where his guys get it or nobody gets it, and Mitchell makes very few mistakes. And there, it was basically a jump ball where Jonathan just has to go up and get it, and he put it where only Jonathan could. And the defensive back for Mount Juliet had his back, so he couldn't even see to the ball, so he couldn't even see where the ball was coming.
Mount Juliet back on offense here. Wildcats can't take advantage of the turnover. Handoff to the running back, and he is lowering his shoulder. And then Brian Kelly makes a stop along with one other Wildcat. That will be Jacob Burvin. And a flag went down on the play right at the middle part of the line. Not exactly sure what that is, honestly. Didn't see a hold. I didn't see a face mask. It'll be, they're pointing towards Oak Ridge. We have been penalized entirely too much, James.
Yeah, I believe Mark Hayes said 5 for 55 yards, and I think 2 of those were big 15-yard penalties. As it looks like it's going to be stepped off against the Wildcats again, probably for a first down at this point. So you wonder if it was actually a hold on the defense for the Wildcats.
Personal foul against the Wildcats, and once again, ball is at the 30. Well, actually, officially the 28-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 yards to go. 6:20 to play here in the third quarter. 27-14 the score. Quarterback's going to hand it to the back again, and he lowers his shoulder, moves the ball to the 31-yard line, gain of about 3. And up to the line there quickly. It's like a mad rush to the line. The officials hadn't even said it. Wildcats don't substitute. They get set defensively. Second down, 8 yards to go. Hand off to the back, and he's hit and dropped to the line once again. So they do a lot of movement, don't get a whole lot done. It'll be third and about 6 yards to go. Third down, 7 yards to go for Mount Juliet, 5:30 to play, third quarter, 27-14, Oak Ridge in the lead, trying to beat Mount Juliet for the second time in school history. The last time they beat them was last year, the only time they've ever played. Quarterback hands it to the back, he bounces outside, he's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage by, you guessed it, Jacob Irvin, and the Wildcats will hold him. It'll be 4th down and 5 yards to go.
And I believe that was Cameron Malone, their running back there. He is pretty quick and elusive, but he tries to change directions too much, and that was just what happened on that play. And you can't change directions too fast on Jacob Irvin. He's always going to be right there.
Preston Turner standing back at the 40-yard line. Here's the snap, the punt. Oh, he gets a good one off this time. Preston calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 35-yard line of the Wildcats. 4:36 to play third quarter, 27-14. So once again, the Oak Ridge defense does good work. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has been able to move the ball. They've had a 2-drive stall where they missed a field goal, and they had another one stall out just a moment ago where they couldn't pick up a first down.
Yeah, David, and you'd like to obviously keep that going and get inside the red zone. And when you're in the red zone, make sure you make those opportunities count and extend the lead here, because the Wildcats really, like we've said all night, have controlled the ball.
Oak Ridge offense on the field once again. The Wildcats have Kendall Jackson in the backfield. First down, 10 yards to go at their own 35-yard line, leading 27-14. There's a hole opening up for Kendall, not as big as previous holes. He gains still about 4, maybe close to 5 yards, up to around the 40-yard line. Cats haven't played in a couple weeks. Mount Juliet hasn't played in a couple weeks. And a lot of times you see a little bit of rust. Haven't really seen that, honestly. I guess the only problems have been the turnovers.
Yeah, I think Mount Juliet has had most of the turnovers here, which have been the issue, which has been a benefit for the Wildcats. But the Wildcats overall, other than 2 mistakes I think we've talked about, our fumble and the kickoff return, we've looked pretty good all the way around.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Only a gain of 3 on the play, up to the 38-yard line, 3:58 and counting. Third quarter. Mitchell Gibbons will pass. Pass is caught on a dead run. 40, 45, 50. That'll be a 10-bank of Oak Ridge first down. Another nice catch, this time by Jabryce Taylor. 1st and 10, Wildcats.
Yeah, it's a really interesting formation that the Wildcats have there. They basically split out 3 receivers to one side, and they motion over a slot guy. So there's technically 4 receivers on one side, and Kendall Jackson and Mitchell Gibbons in the backfield. So they just overload that side. Quick little pass out to Jabryce. He uses his speed and gets up for a first down for the Wildcats.
Both teams looking like they want to go fast here. The officials having a little trouble spotting the ball as quickly as Mount Juliet wanted them to do it. First down, 10 yards to go. Ball is at midfield. Mitchell Gibbons, his team up 27-14. Mitchell busted play, sacked. It's going to be dropped back at the 46-yard line. You talk about some spirited fans and a team. Mount Juliet came and they brought their vocal cords. They have been in it the entire game.
Yeah, in it the entire game, regardless of the turnovers, regardless of where it's at on the field. You got to give them a lot of credit here, as it would be interesting to see if the Wildcats come back to the visitor sideline with something, because the past couple plays they've gone those 4 people to one side, which is the short side of the field, the home side of the field right now.
Loss of 3 on the play. Second down, 13 yards to go. Mitchell just looked and didn't find a running back behind him and just had to eat the ball. Once again, the Wildcats receivers to the left and to the right. Second down, 13. Mitchell all day to pass, pumps, fires a pass. It's going to be incomplete, or it might have been caught, deflected, and it is going to be broken up. Earl breaks it up here. That time Mitchell looked deep. Good coverage on Brandon Hayward. Couldn't go his way, and really went to a secondary guy, and pass was broken up. It's 3rd and 13.
Yeah, and Mitchell kind of, like you said, looked deep, kind of double clutch and brought it back in, tried to get it out real quick, and I think it was just deflected there near the line of scrimmage.
Third down, 13, 2:29 to play. So the Wildcat offense stalling a little bit. Let's see what they can do. It's been an odd game, especially in the running game. We'll get no yards, and then we'll get a 40-yard run. It's been a different kind of a ball game. Mitchell needs 13 for a first down. The ball's at the 47-yard line of Oak Ridge. 2:29 to play. Screen pass is caught, but he has no blocking out there at all. It was caught out there at the 45-yard line, but he didn't have a prayer. As he was hit immediately at the line, the Wildcats will be forced to punt. Cole Adams on the reception.
Yeah, I think the blocking was mainly set up for the outside. The two outside receivers kind of went downfield for that blocking. So I think maybe if Cole continues outside there, but there wasn't really any help on the inside as the Wildcats seem like they're going to punt here. Maybe, hopefully you can pin Mount Juliet deep and cause another turnover.
27-14, the Wildcats in the lead. 1 minute 53 seconds to play. 4th down, 16, third period. Blankenship Field. The Wildcats play Powell next week in a huge region ball game. Huge. Proceedings in the tournament, the playoffs, the Wildcats. Preston will punt. Then he shanks it, actually. Not a good punt for him at all. It's going to take an Oak Ridge bounce. It's going to roll dead at the 50. That is the worst punt that Preston's had all year. Preston's been great. Jacob's been great, but that one just went straight up in the air, and they have great field position.
Yeah, I think Preston saw a little bit of a rush off of his left side there and wasn't able to roll out really like he wants to and had to kick it a little quicker than he really wanted to. So that's why it kind of almost went straight up and right back down, as it looks like the ball's right at midfield.
The Wildcats have already qualified for the TSSAA playoffs. I haven't mentioned that. The Wildcats will be one of the final 4 teams. The only teams in our region so far eliminated: Clinton, they're 0-7. Carnes has been eliminated as well. So Campbell County and Fulton, Oak Ridge, they're still alive for the playoff hunt. But Clinton and Carnes have been eliminated. Mount Juliet ball, they're going to run the ball at the right sideline. Nice fake. He moves the ball to the 40-yard line of Oak Ridge, down to around the 39-yard line. What an interesting fake he had on that one.
Yeah, it looked like they were setting up possibly a reverse coming back downfield as Sowell came back. Sowell was at the outside receiver. Baggett just took the handoff and ran toward the Oak Ridge sideline. Credit the Wildcat defense, though, for staying at home and making sure that they made the tackle on Baggett. But Sowell came back in the backfield like he was going to take a reverse. So I wouldn't be surprised, as the Bears are going to be penalized. I wouldn't be surprised if that came back and they tried to run a reverse later in the game.
Speaking of coming back, they're going to bring that one back. It is a holding call against the Golden Bears back to the 47-yard line, where it'll be first down and now 13 yards to go. 1:20 to play, third quarter. Oak Ridge on top, 27-14. Wildcats trying to win their 5th game of the year. The Golden Bears trying to win their 7th game of the year. They're 6-1 coming into this one. Low snap, handoff to the back, and he weaves his way forward and moves the ball across the 45 and up close to the 40-yard once again. He's just finding a little bit of a rhythm here as the Wildcats give up big yardage there, but it'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Actually, 2nd down and 3 yards to go. 48 seconds to play. They're going quick once again. Quarterback's going to hand it off to him once again. He once again finds running room. He's going to find a touchdown. Unless the Wildcats can bring him down, they do. Cole brings him down at around the 7-yard line. They've got to just kind of stay on that guy. They came to the line with no hesitation. I mean, they ran the play. They got right back up to the line. The Wildcats were either not in position or they just didn't see him. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line where it's first down, goal to go.
Cameron Malone there for the Bears on that run. Really quick and shifty run, get down inside the red zone.
Quarterback this time under center from the 6-yard line. First down, goal to go. He's going to roll to his right, look to run, fires the pass into the end zone. Pass is going to be caught for a touchdown for Mount Juliet. 15 seconds to play, so the Wildcats' inability to score and their drive stalling a little bit give Mount Juliet the ball, and they march crisply down the field in a nice drive, and they're about to pull to within 6 once again with 15.7 seconds to play in the third quarter, 27-20. So this game is kind of playing out pretty similar to the way last year's ball game went.
Yeah, David, as again, as the scoring goes back and forth and not as much consistency here in the second half on who's being able to do what, as the extra point looks like it's up and good.
15.7 seconds to play, third quarter, 27-21 Oak Ridge. We're going to take a break. There is a flag on the play. Wildcats are already heading off the field. It is resting around the 3-yard line, but we'll take a break. We'll send it back to Brian Bennett. They don't give us much time in between, but we'll take a 60-second break. 27-21 Oak Ridge, back in 60. As they'll be kicking off from the 45-yard line. You know, let's see if they try to onside kick it. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. I mean, you might get a quick turnaround, get the ball right back. They're kicking off from our 45. He's kicked it out of the end zone every other kick. Let's see what he does. He makes his approach, And he's going to kick it out of the end zone. Actually, he tried to, and he hit it. He hit the field goal if it would have counted. So that would have been a 55-yard field goal.
Yeah, David, I don't know why you wouldn't try an onside kick there. You're down 15 seconds. You're going to go into the fourth quarter here in a second. And worst case scenario, most likely, you end up with the ball on the opponent ends up with the ball on the 30, 35-yard line. May have been a good time to go for it right there.
James, analyze this defense here and why they have gotten away from the slant that was so successful early on. As it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball is at the 20-yard line. 15.7 seconds to play, third quarter, 27-21. Wildcats and Golden Bears playing like they played last year, and was an exciting ball game last year, and this one's playing out to be an exciting one tonight. First and 10, ball's at the 20. Mitchell's going to pass deep, goes across the way. There's the slant, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Brandon Hayward. Good coverage.
Yeah, David, as I believe the fake there again was try to get Kendall Jackson to draw all those up. And what the Wildcats are trying to do is run, and then try to fake it to Kendall and draw the linebackers up to open up those slants, as we saw right there. So I think it's a good call by you to notice that those slants and those the crossing routes over the middle have been open a lot.
Second down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. And it'll be with 10 seconds to play now in the third quarter, 27-21. The Wildcats have got to get their offense rolling again. It's really been stagnant. There's a completion. They move the ball up close to the 30. It's at the 29. It's going to be short. Brandon Hayward, and that is the final play of the third quarter. So we've played 3 quarters of football here at Blankenship Field. The Wildcats lead the Golden Bears 27-21. We'll be back in 60 seconds. So the Wildcats are going to have to punt it. 11-10 to play here. Fourth down and a yard to go, and now play is halted. Flags are down. It is delay a game against the Wildcats. Oak Ridge is a little disorganized right now, James.
Yeah, it seems so, as they were looking, both Preston and Jacob were looking to get the call there and try to run the punt play, as it looks like Mount Juliet is bringing a lot of other people in. One positive thing to see out of this is Preston is telling his guys, calm down, we still got this. So it's good to see that type of leadership out of Preston.
Wildcats, Jacob Irvin is going to punt it. This time it's going to take a bounce, and not a great Oak Ridge bounce. It's going to roll dead at the 40-yard line. That is where the Golden Bears will have it. They are fired up in this. This game means a lot to them.
Yeah, David, and one of the reasons that Mount Juliet wasn't really able to get a good return there is the Wildcats were set and ready for that punt and ready to go. Mount Juliet was running all these people on the field, and they just didn't have a good rush and weren't set, and so the ball ends up, I believe, around the 40-yard line for Mount Juliet. 27-21, Oak Ridge in the lead. The Wildcats missed an extra point. Hopefully that will not be an important factor. It is an important factor right now. Hopefully it won't be a determining factor in this game. 10:57 to play. Quarterback's going to throw a screen pass out here, and the Wildcats are going to drop him after a gain of about 3. The Wildcats out there with Kai Hirsch. The Wildcats had Cole Adams. They had Swigert pretty close to it. It'll be a gain of 2. Second down, 8 yards to go. 10:41 to play. I kind of like it, honestly, when they do pass, because they're a better running team than they are a throwing team. Yeah, and they spread them out really wide, as they have both the receivers way out far out. The Mount Juliet does.
Quarterback's running it, and he's going to be hit right at the 44-yard line. It's going to be third down and about 5 yards to go. A little bit less than that. Third down, when call it 7. One of the Golden Bears is down. 10:17 to play. The Wildcats need to stop here. It's third down and 7, and see what Mount Juliet does here. The Wildcats lead at 27-21. I kind of expected a ball game like this. This is a 6A team, a bigger school. They are 6-1 coming into this one, so this will be a big win for the Wildcats if they can hold on.
Yeah, definitely. And anytime you can play up on a team like this and get a win, it's a great motivation for the Wildcats.
Third down, 7 yards to go at the 43. Low snap. Here's a pass. It's going to be caught. Wildcats try to make the stop, and he's right up at the 46-yard line, and I believe he's going to be a yard short. I think it's going to be 4th and a yard to go, and maybe even longer than that. It's going to be 4th down and 2. 9:46 to play, and they'll bring the punt team in. The Wildcats cannot jump off sides here. The Wildcats have had too many penalties in this game.
Yeah, David, as they just tried to run a little screenplay out there to the receivers, and it was actually blocked pretty well, but the Wildcat defense picked it up.
They are punting. It's high, And the Wildcats have got to get away from it. It's going to take a bounce. It's going to take an Oak Ridge bounce and roll dead at around the 34-yard line. Jonathan Stewart was pretty close to that one. I was afraid it might touch him. Wildcats have got to move the chains here. They have been stagnant on offense here. Got to get a little bit more offense. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right words. A little bit more consistency and a little bit more diversity, honestly, in their offense.
Yeah, I believe so too. You know, we've run Kendall a lot. We've thrown the hitch routes a lot. We've thrown the slant routes a lot, and we've thrown the combination of them. I think having some type of motion where, you know, Cole hasn't. We've sent Cole and Darren Osborne in motion a lot. Maybe trying to get them the ball in some type of weird way.
First down, 10 yards to go. The ball's at the 33-yard line of the Wildcats. Mitchell's going to throw a quick pass, just caught Jonathan Stewart, and goes out of bounds to the Oak Ridge sideline right around the 40-yard line. So that's a gain of about 7. That's a nice play. They just kind of gave him the short pass, and that's a nice game for the Wildcats.
Nice game for the Wildcats. Would have liked Jonathan maybe to just try to stay in there in bounds and fight to stay in bounds because that stops the clock. But the corner was playing off of Jonathan. It's just a quick little easy 5 or 6 yard route completion and pick up that and go to second down and have another play to pick up another first down.
Gain of 8 on the play, second down, 2, 9:19 to play in the ball game. 27-21, the Wildcats in the lead. Kendall Jackson, the lone running back, 2 receivers to the left. Handoff goes to Kendall. Kendall has a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down as he moves the ball to the 45-yard line. That's just a steady run. They just needed to move the chains, and they did.
They moved the chains there and were able to pick up that first down. As David, I think you made a good point. You know, this is a 6A team, and this is one of the hardest schedules I think I've seen Oak Ridge play. They played Dobbins-Bennett, a 6A team, Farragut, a 6A team, now Mount Juliet, all 6A teams, and Hardin Valley also, which is a 6A team. So they are playing tough competition.
First down, 10 yards to go, 8 minutes, 52 seconds to play in the ball game. 27-21 the score. Mitchell, once again, with receivers left and right. Wildcat quarterback will drop back to pass. Now will roll to his right, fires it down the way. Pass is going to be incomplete. The defensive back went down. The receiver went down. I don't see a flag going down. It'll be incomplete. Second down, 10 yards to go. Second down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. Quarterback, Mitchell Gibbons. Kendall moves the ball forward to around the 45-yard line. It'll be for the Wildcats. Third down and long, the Wildcats. 8:22 to play in the ball game. Ball is resting at the 47-yard line. The Wildcats heading towards Jackson Square. Third down facing Oak Ridge. Kendall Jackson still the lone running back. The Wildcats have 2 receivers split to the right. Jonathan Stewart to the right. Handoff goes Kendall. Kendall moves the ball to the midfield stripe and finally brought down there by the Golden Bears. The Wildcats in the lead in this one as we're about halfway through the fourth quarter. Wildcats and the Powell Panthers next week here at Blankenship Field. The 1980 Oak Ridge High School team will be recognized on the field along with Coach Emery Hale. He'll be here as well. Let's fourth down now facing the Wildcats. The ball's at the 49-yard line, so into the ball game to punt the ball away will come Preston Turner and Jacob Bervin. Wildcats in the lead, holding on to that missed extra point. Hopefully that will not be a factor in this ball game. Kai Hirsch is the long snapper. There is no way in the world the Wildcats will fake this one. Fourth down and long, and here's the snap. It's good, and the Wildcats will punt the ball away. It's going to be Jacob Bervin getting a nice one off, angling towards the sideline, takes a good bounce for Mount Juliet, and finally down by the Wildcats. Kelly along with Elam at around the 27-yard line. So it'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Mount Juliet Golden Bears as they move from right to left. First down for them. The Wildcats come into this game 5-3. We're actually 4-3. I'm trying to make it 5-3. Mount Juliet with a loss in their last ball game. That was 2 weeks ago to Rossview. They come in at 6-1. Here comes the offense once again for the Golden Bears. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball at their own 28-yard line. The quarterback is Stephen Swanner. Swoner. One lone running back, 2 receivers, low snap. Handoff goes to Baggett. Baggett moves the ball across the 30 up to around the 33-yard line. It's a gain of about 5 on the play. It'll bring up second down and 5 yards to go for the Golden Bears. Oak Ridge in the lead as we play here in the fourth quarter, 27-21. Quickly going, the low snap there, handoff to Baggett once again. He tries to get outside, and he does, and he runs out of bounds right at the sticks. In fact, he got a yard beyond it. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go for the Golden Bears. The ball's going to be at the 39-yard line. So they move the chains. Wildcats trying to hold on for dear life here, leading only by 6 here in the fourth quarter. Ball's resting at the 39-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Once again, they have 2 receivers split to the left. Quarterback fumbles the snap. It's loose on the ground, and they fall on it. I believe Baggett falls on it back at the 35-yard line, but it is a loss on the play of about 3 yards, maybe even 4. They put the ball back at the 34-yard line, where it now will be second down. We'll call it a long 4 for a first down. Mount Juliet and Oak Ridge have only played one other time. That was last year. Kind of a similar ball game, higher scoring, but still a lot of action. Once again, it's Warner back to pass, rolls to his left, wants to run. He's going to be dumping the ball off in the flats, incomplete. Intended out there for number 38 for them. That is Amarion Workings. Passes incomplete. Had a lot of pressure from the backside, which forced him to throw the pass earlier than he wanted to. It'll be third down and 15 yards to go. We're on FM 92.7, FM 94.7, prepradio.com, and Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. From the Mount Juliet 34-yard line, third down, 4.5 yards to go. Low snap once again. He wants to run it. He's going to go up the field. Now he's going to be sacked. The Wildcats drop him right at the 32-yard line. Good pressure once again. Isaiah Boone there for the sack, and the punt team will come onto the field for the Golden Bears. So good defensive stand for Oak Ridge, and the Wildcats are back to receive the punt. Here it is. Punts away. High kick. Going to be bounding, and it's going to take a good Mount Juliet roll all the way down to the 35-yard line, and that is where Oak Ridge will have it. First down and 10 yards to go. Sure. We're down to 5:06 to play in the ballgame. The Wildcats are in the lead, 27-21. The Wildcat defense have once again forced them to punt, and the Wildcat offense is on the field once again. Wildcats in the lead, 27-21. 5:06 to play in the ballgame. Wildcat offense, they need a couple first downs here, trying to go 5-3 on the year and get ready for their final 2 ball games against the Pal Panthers next week. They got to play better than they did this week. The penalties have just been absolutely terrible for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge's Kendall Jackson trying to get outside. He does, 40, 45, and then he's brought down right at the 46. Fine gain there for the Wildcats. Wildcats in the lead, 27-21. And once again, it'll be Oak Ridge with a 10 bank of Oak Ridge. First down. 27-21 is our score. The Wildcats playing with Jabryce Taylor as a receiver, split to the left side. The Wildcats have Darren Osborne as a slot man. The Wildcat line remains the same. Brandon Hayward is a receiver. He's split out to the left side. To the right side is Jonathan Stewart. First down and 10 yards to go. Once again, Mitchell Gibbons is going to hand it off to Kendall. Fumbles the football. Handoff was not good. He had already hit the hole, and actually Mitchell had to reach up and almost had to shove it to him forward. The Wildcats fall on it back at the 45-yard line. The Wildcats just are not crisp. I don't know if Kendall didn't know the play or whatever the problem was. It looked like Mitchell tried to give him the ball, and he had already gone through once again. So it'll be for the Wildcats. Second down and 12 yards to go. 3:49 to play in the ball game. 27-21 the score. Second down, 12 yards to go. 3 minutes, 32 seconds to play. Second down and 12 yards to go. Handoff goes Kendall Jackson. Kendall moves the ball close to midfield, but he's pushed back. It'll be third down facing the Wildcats here, as the Wildcats, with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to play, leading by a score of 27-21. Appreciate you listening to our broadcast wherever you might be on FM 92.7, prepradio.com. The Wildcats need a first Wildcats, it's down to 3 minutes here. You don't want to give them the ball back as the Wildcats have it right at the 49-yard line. 8 yards to go. Kind of a nail-biter ball game, James.
Yeah, David, as it's a one-possession game, and that extra point looms very large right now for the Wildcats. If I remember correctly, we had a scenario last year with Mount Juliet where I think we missed an extra point as well.
Here come the Wildcats, 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Kendall Jackson in the backfield, the Wildcats. Mitchell's going to pass all day. Now runs. Cutting it up the field, 50. He's got a 10-back of Oak Ridge first down as he has clobbered right at the 40-yard line. You talk about a big play right there. Mitchell Gibbons had nobody to throw it to. He tucked it, and Mitchell looked like a speed demon right there and picks up a huge first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, David, and I think if you remember back earlier into the broadcast, you said that you wish Mitchell would have kind of kept rolling out and used his speed to get the first down late in the first half. I think that scenario right there, Mitchell learned from his mistake and made a better play this time.
2 minutes to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge on top, 27-21. The Wildcats, I think, with another first down, can salt this one away. 1:57 to play. No timeouts being called right now. Mitchell Gibbons, the ball's at the Mount Juliet 41, 27-21 Oak Ridge. Kendall Jackson's going to get the call. He's at the 40, at the 35. Kendall Jackson tripped up right around the 34-yard line, stays in bounds, and now Mount Juliet will use one of their timeouts, and we need it ourselves. 1:32 to play in the ball game, although the clock is still moving. Now they stop it. 27-21 the score. We'll be back in 30 seconds. So we have 1:39 to play, 27-21 the score. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. The Wildcats need to continue to pick up some first downs. They don't want to throw the ball, really. They just want to hand it off to Kendall, let Kendall do his thing, and Kendall's going to move the ball forward. He falls forward to the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for another 10-back of Oak Ridge first down. So Juliet, all they can do is hope the Wildcats cannot pick up more first downs, and they do have a first down. Only 1:26 to play. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Clock is moving. Oak Ridge in the lead, 27-21 is our score.
Yeah, David, and Mount Juliet is going to have to be very careful. If I'm Oak Ridge, I don't run this ball outside, and I make sure to communicate that to whoever we hand it off to, assuming that we're going to hand it off, because you don't want to be forced out of bounds.
1:06 to play. We're ticking it on down. 27-21 Oak Ridge. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats, Mitchell Gibbons trying to hold on. Hands it to Kendall. He cuts to the outside and jumps over a guy, leaps all the way, and goes out of bounds. Stops the clock, but a very impressive leap over a defender. It's another 10-back of Oak Ridge first down with 50 seconds to play.
Yeah, David, a really nice play there. Just an outside handoff by Mitchell Gibbons. Kendall Jackson gets to the edge. Nice job blocking there by our receivers downfield and gave Kendall enough room to pick up the first down and made a really athletic play leaping over somebody. You don't see that too often in football.
All the way down to the 14-yard line of Mount Juliet. 50 seconds to play. The clock is stopped because of the out-of-bounds play. The Wildcats will get into a victory-type formation here. According to the scoreboard, there are 2 timeouts remaining still for Mount Juliet, but the Wildcats will go into the victory formation, and Mitchell Gibbons will down it with 47 seconds to play. And I don't believe Mount Juliet I don't believe they're going to be able to stop the clock. They're just going to let it tick down. The Wildcats are going to make the alumni happy here on homecoming, and they're going to knock off Mount Juliet 27-21.
Yeah, David, this is the best formation in football where you can literally just kneel it out and go home with a win, regardless of what the score is on the scoreboard. Anytime you can get in victory formation, it's been a good night.
Clock is ticking off, 19 seconds to play. The Wildcats will up their record to 5-3. Mount Juliet will fall to 6-2 on the year. The Wildcats are going to go 2-0 against the Golden Bears. Play is halted right now because the game is over. The Wildcats have won by a final score of 27-21. James, I know you're going to go down on the field and interview some coaches and players.
James Branson back down here at Blankenship Field, joined by 2 offensive players, Jonathan Stewart and Kendall Jackson. Jonathan, we'll talk to you first. You had a really good game tonight, and kind of a lot of reminiscent of last year. You scored a touchdown late in the game last year against Mount Juliet on a very similar route. Talk about what happened on the touchdown you caught this year and how that went.
The route was upgraded. I ran a slant last year there and scored, and this time it was supposed to be a post, but they said I broke them, so I just kept running straight, and Mitchell threw the ball where I can get it. So and I just took it to the house for that, like what I do.
And Mitchell, you mentioned Mitchell. Mitchell does a really good job as your quarterback because it looks like puts the ball basically where you or any one of our receivers can go get it and nobody else can.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. He's very good at that, and we practice that every day. My bad. Every single day in practice, we run the same plays, same routes, and we work out the practice a little bit. So that chemistry is there. He's been doing that since middle school. So and it's great to have him as my quarterback. And
offensive line tonight was probably one of the biggest things that did great, not just in the run game for us, but run protection, because the offensive line gave Mitchell all night. Late in the game, we tried to throw a pass to you down in the corner, basically a one-on-one ball, a jump ball. Talk a little bit about that. Obviously, we didn't execute, but it was a really nice play.
I had it in my hand. I just didn't look the ball in. Like Coach Graham always told me, look the ball in before you take your eyes off the ball, and I never looked all the way in, so and he smacked it out my hand. But it was a good play by the DB, and I should have caught it. But on to the next.
You mentioned on to the next one. I like that you say that because next week we have Powell, big region game coming up. Next week of preparation, what do we got to do to continue to get better and continue to improve?
We just got to come to practice Monday, ready to work. Come Sunday, look at film, look what we did wrong, and just keep working. And we not done with this job. So until we done, we gonna keep rocking.
Congratulations on the win tonight, Jonathan. And as a senior, one more question: how good does it feel to be back at Blankenship?
It feels great. It ain't nothing playing in Blankenship Field. The atmosphere was great. The fans great. It's just Ugrish football.
Thanks for speaking with us, Jonathan. Joining us here right next up is Kendall Jackson. Kendall had a great night. A little bit, I don't want to say a breakout night for you, but it feels like you got a little bit more in a rhythm. And this is a game last year that got you in a rhythm late in the season.
Right, that's right. Before this game, for the past 2 weeks, I've been on the field getting right because I know ththese last 3 games are going to be tough. So I know I had to be even tougher. So,
you had a great night tonight, Kendall. A lot of it was long runs. You get a few yards up the middle, get a few yards here and there, and then all of a sudden you're out in the open. What kind of happened on those long runs? Because it seems like you would just squeeze in behind either Cole or Darren and your offensive tackle and get out really quick.
Right. Basically, first and foremost, it starts up front. The line, they blocked it up real well. Followed my H back through the hole. Whichever way they would block the man too, I cut off his butt. And I saw green, so I hit it.
And you hit it 3 or 4 times, and I believe 2 were for touchdowns, and 1 was close to another 30-yard run.
Right, that's right.
And so you had a great night. Kendall, also in pass protection, I saw you several times stepping up and taking on blocks of linebackers and of defensive line, trying to give Mitchell more time. How important is the passing game for you to set up run?
It's really important because I know I can't only be a good runner. I got to be a good blocker, good catcher too, so especially blocking. So.
Kendall, you're a junior here. You have these last 3 games at home. How good does it feel to get a win at home at Blankenship Field?
It feels real good because, we're at home. We have momentum now. We just got to keep it rolling. Just keep it rolling.
Next week we got Powell at home, another region game, big game. Could deal with playoff seeding for us. What do we got to do over this next week to continue to get better and prepare for Powell?
We just got to go and practice hard every day. Every snap, go full speed, no breaks, none of that. We gotta practice like we want it. We gotta want it.
Kendall, thank you for joining us and congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Joining down here, Coach Gaddis just got finished up. Coach, obviously, kind of back and forth a lot tonight. I think one of the things to take away from tonight, though, looking at Mount Juliet, that was a good team. And looking at our schedule as a whole, Mount Juliet, Hardin Valley, Dobbins-Bennett, Farragut, all of these are 6A teams that we are playing as a 5A school. That's only got to prepare us for later in the season.
I think the one thing we had on Mount Juliet, they can't do anything about it. Our schedule is tough. Even though we unfortunately lost some games, playing Dobbins-Bennett, playing West, playing Farragut, that helps us. And, I think we were easily they might not agree. I think we're the best team they've played, even though our record is not great. We're the best team they played, I believe. And they're not the best team we've played. They're a good team, but we've played some good football teams, and that's only made us better. And, I thought tonight was kind of like last year, probably the best game we've played. But, we were excited to win this game because we need to talk to the team all week, and especially tonight, too, before the game. We need to get hot. We need to start getting some momentum built because it's not always the best team that goes deep in the playoffs. It's the hottest team, kind of like the Atlanta Braves right now. Whether they're the best team or not, I don't know. But I don't know what they did tonight. But they were up 3-1, and everybody was talking Dodgers all year. Well, we're getting hot. Hopefully at the right time. The next 2 weeks, we need to continue to build off of this game. But it's the team that gets hot at the right time that goes deep.
Coach, I appreciate the Braves shout-out as a Braves fan myself, but your defense continued to step up. 4 turnovers tonight, 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, and you mentioned these hard teams are playing like Dobyns-Bennett. We've held Dobyns-Bennett to the fewest points of anybody else on their schedule. It looks like our defense is continuing to improve.
Our defense is really good. We had one anomaly against Farragut, but our defense has played well now. What are we, 5-3? We played well in 7 games. And tonight, creating turnovers. And even though they scored once, I guess, in the second half on us and ran the ball a little bit successfully for the only time tonight, when we had to stop them, and I felt like the game was on the line, our defense stepped up 2 big times in the fourth quarter. That was huge. So, and then our offense, making the, even though we didn't score on the last possession offensively, that drive was the biggest drive of the night. And the Mitchell Gibbons play where he tucked it and ran on the third down and whatever it was, 10 or 11, that was huge. And then Kendall Jackson ran like a man possessed after that, and that was just beautiful to see.
Yeah, Kendall had a nice hurdle here down at the this end of the field as we're standing. He also, it was kind of like punch, 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 and then here comes a knockout blow with Kendall. He had a couple short runs, and then all of a sudden he'd burst out and nobody'd see him. And your passing game off of play action tonight was huge as the slants and the posts were all open all night.
That was something we saw on film. I mean, their safeties are very, very aggressive, and they play the run well. But, we thought we could get them on some of that stuff, which we did. The long runs are what everybody's going to talk about with Kendall, the two long touchdowns, I'm sure, but these runs toward the end, and even one down there, probably around the 15, 10-yard line, where he just never would stop. It's the old Kendall where you can't bring him down. He's going to get 4, 5, 6 more yards after contact, after contact, after contact. But these runs toward the end were huge because the hurdle scared me to death. I'll be happy if I never see that again. But pretty impressive, but I don't want to see it. But when he ran over this guy down here, that was huge because it sent a message. Number one, we're going to run the ball for the first down. They can't stop us. And number two, if you come up to tackle him, he's going to punish you.
Coach, not to mention a down note or anything like that. Obviously, you're always looking for things to improve on as a coach. Penalties, I think, are something that came up again. I know you're not happy with that, and that's something we got to fix as we go to Powell. So what can we do to work on that as we go toward Powell and continue to go to the playoffs?
It's strange. We've had 2 games this year where penalties have been a huge problem, Clinton and tonight. The rest of the games, we've had about 5 penalties, about 30 yards. So it's weird. I don't know. We can't do this and beat many good teams. We got away with it tonight, but we can't do it. And I'll certainly be getting their attention again next week like I did after the Clinton game. They know what's coming. They don't like it. But we've got to avoid that. And, we missed an extra point, which was critical, but we can't do that. I was deeply concerned that they, would score it some way and beat us 28-27. That's been a problem in recent years, and it's frustrating.
Last thing, Coach, as we move here toward the playoffs, you mentioned playing good teams, getting hot at the right time. What do we got to continue to do? Because these last 2 are key, very key in seeding for the playoff.
Well, we have to run the ball. I think, no one's really run the ball on this team tonight. I don't know what our stats will be, but I'm going to bet you we've run the ball better on Mount Juliet's defense than anybody has all year. Did you look at their defensive linemen? I mean, they got some studs over there, and they're big and strong, and our offensive line doesn't get enough credit, to be quite honest with you. I'm happy with the way our offensive line blocked. I'm happy with the way Kendall ran. We're going to have to continue to do that. We're going to have to run the ball against Powell. That's going to open up a lot of things. You mentioned play action earlier. That opens that up. And, our offense can be very, very good. If we're running the football and then throwing off the play action, will be hard to stop. We just have to continue to do that, continue to get better. I thought our offensive line gave Mitchell Gibbons a lot of time tonight. I don't remember him being pressured very much. One negative was the kickoff return for a touchdown. That we can't allow that. I can't remember the last time we've done that. That's something we have to work on. We've been popping it up. We had the good deep kick and pinned them. But, I thought we did a lot of things good tonight, not everything, and we'll have to shore up the things we didn't do so well.
Coach, appreciate you joining us, and congratulations on the win. Looking forward to speaking to you next week.
Thank you.
Your 2020 homecoming king is Adam Heron, and your 2020 homecoming queen is Javaria Mitchell. Congratulations, Adam Heron and Javaria Mitchell and all the 2020 homecoming court.
The first inductee is Spencer Goldmeyer. Spencer is a 2006 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. Spencer is a two-time All-State football player and was named runner-up as Oak Ridge Mr. Football in the state of Tennessee in 2005. He was the region's top offensive player in both his junior and senior years. Spencer still holds numerous football records, including career rushing yards, career all-purpose yards, and career touchdowns. Spencer also holds records for rushing yards in a single game with 305 and touchdowns in a single game with 5. He did this twice. Spencer signed to play football at Austin Peay University, where he was a 4-year letterman. Let's give it up for Spencer Goldmeyer. Our second inductee is Mr. Kim Pettis. Kim is an 82 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. Kim was an all-district basketball player on the track. He set Oak Ridge records in the 110-yard hurdles, the 330-yard hurdles, and the 300-meter hurdles. While on the football field, Kim was a member of the 1980 state championship team. He was an all-state running back and defensive back in 1981. These skills would earn him a scholarship to the University of Richmond, where he would be a starting defensive back for 3 years. After graduation, Kim would serve in the Navy for 6 years. Thank you for your service and welcome back to Blankenship Field. And final inductee is John Sella. John is a 1966 graduate of Oak Ridge High School. John excelled in track and field. John would set a shot put record at Oak Ridge High School with a distance of 57 feet 7 inches. He also ran on the 440-yard relay team. John earned a scholarship to Tennessee Tech, where he set a school record for the javelin. John would later serve 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. And by the way, the shot put record that John set in '66 has yet to be broken. Let's thank John for his service and give him a Wildcat welcome home. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we can do better than that. Let's give another round of applause for your 2020 Oak Ridge High School Sports Hall of Fame inductees.